our local news bulletin. I am Leonora Jawara. First, we have a look at the headlines. Star Television gauge opinions of citizens on what really has changed in the last 4 years of President Biyo's-led administration.
Then the end of the day, now we turn so far. For now we buy business, it's not easy for me.
President Julius Maada Bio engages key private sector players, promises an inclusive business policy.
Inflation, the high prices that we don't occur all right around the world. But now we own Nassau, now we careful. If we get for able regulate them, I think we get for make sure say we engage winner.
Ministry of Water Resources and Salwako launches 6 towns water supply project in Moyamba.
6 towns water supply projects, we cover 6 towns where they don't say about, we just go over briefly. We get Kabbalah, like Konadugu district, we get Kailamo, we get Kambia.
To all this, we can be headlines. Let's now get you details of the news. Now, His Excellency President Julius Maada Bio's-led administration marks 4 years since elected in 2018. Many Sierra Leoneans are keen to understand how much the new direction has been able to fulfill its governance manifesto amidst the current economic hardship in the country. As citizens thus describe the present economic situation as pretty much challenging. Well, Star Television gauge opinions of citizens on what really has changed in the last 4 years.
How then they can put them in. Then the end of the day, now we turn so far. For now we buy business, it's not easy for me. You don't like to be go any day teenager. You know they all 60, 80,000 go market. Single parents for long and it's the way get market. You pass time. How we they live normal life? You know you get started. Instead of the better in the worst. Last week sugar they sell 520. Tuesday they make 550. Before Saturday they can sell 700. They control them. They cancel the even butter and they sell 380, 390. On Saturday can they knock out. They wait after one, they make it today, they come, when they come out, they put 20. No, and say the week they don't make it supposed to. Every day they make see leave sugar until they go up. Now they ask you, I want to tell you to be the solution to all this. Now I want to tell this way for you. You don't get no way for them. Now they buy lots and they sleep for them. They pray God for long life already. Don't see the 2020. So woman and they suffer. Now we they labor. The man they wait to get to deal. We not getting, not get no problem. We are emotions and we are single parents now. We are single. Some of them man don't some man some picking they wouldn't give them belly man don't care. Some of them they battle with them picking them. Like one are single parents, now they battle with the family. So this no solution with the woman. Now not they can say me na this, me na that. Long look to waiting the other go. Long no waiting for you. Don't time can go show yourself and buy lots of it.
Where the convince with you, all the votes are. And so all this level of it, we should also say the absent for waiting successful. Not even see start itself. All of this supposed to be the biggest man, the show they can't say the economy is about 90 space of 90 days. We make the economy strong and responsible. So we do the land, we will enjoy our business. years ago, but until this time, nothing like that. Just a city, just a place somewhere like say, nothing they don't ever do before. They face difficulties too much. Because like they are so they buy so. So they go buy bill. So they let's alone they buy so na auction they get like 800, 900, 1 million. And then 1 million 500,000, then 2 million. They buy so they 1 million 700, then 3 million. Because this is the machine where they will be ready by the side, they will go to shop. Look like that, they shall buy this past Saturday, today. I will buy today, I'll be the bicycle, then 1 million 700, and then we're going to 2 million. This one is 4 million maximum, so no good. So no see nothing like say the power reduction from where that power. No improvement to no see. Maybe the economy side. So come to use there. Then I just focus and know what to get from you on this coming election now. Because you say when somebody promise you, you know, half for the way to promise you. I hope say the second time we get for Canada, you back go the way to do. They go do it like me. I am about that advice I would give to come to use there say this guys of all the pass. If any of you back continue for do the same mistake we make so for the next 5 years, it will be very difficult. It will difficult pass the previous one.
And some traders in the market also sound their views to Star Television.
Dia one sell nothing. We go buy something today, we go tomorrow, now other price in it. If you go buy 50,000 today, tomorrow we're going to tell you say 70,000, 60,000. Every day now price increase. This morning oil now go buy so 1.5 gallon oil. I go buy 460,000. Look at just one ton. This puts our guess. Last month we buy 350,000 and 370,000. That's why I buy started 370. The one they go buy upline like 90 and then pepper they go buy upline counter. Now they say they can because the motorcar business, transport, fear long up. When they buy them, put them for load them motorcar, the driver they charge them dear. So that dear when they pay themselves can themselves pull up we wholesale they go buy. They wholesale go buy, wholesale pay keke, transport dear who can wholesale cancel. This year and not to fast month because they so fast month canteen they did. Now fast month meet it yeah. So enjoy the add back.
Well, business drop and everyday prices they go. Especially them people are they sell them fish here. Today the hotel say they buy one carton 400, so they will come back and say they buy 450, so they say they can buy 600, and when they can sell, then they will pull that money. The cost of the market then are the constraint, right? Because like first the way the market they get until they can, but if you watch, for small market they all go, right? And the cost of living market, and some people that the day where they sell, and that same day they will go with they will go put in a pot. When they feel one thing they come when they don't buy the fuel don't go automatically. The thing they go buy all they go up because the cost of the fuel they put them on the cost of the goods. So what we can sell, we say how we buy now out of there we say they get small thing because you don't go buy you can lose because if you go buy 100,000 you go and get 120,000. So that fuel the way you go up now you have a tall man not to one person. Government they give subsidy now to fuel. So that subsidy no they make more things back the government put subsidy back here. Because if the subsidy be there, at least it will be back to small or let it grow.
The market no fun. You go get market, wake out one place, say not easy. Right now the class of the band here. Go they buy one big sack and start 8,000, so we buy for time. We can only for to come pass God in grace. So we go pull in. We buy what they take them. You know easy. So we buy they charge 15,000, 20,000. Once you go talk to and say bell. And I don't work inside the depot. You don't make force pan and say, Paupa, what you want for gear and I the gear and pass it talk to them. They buy 80, 90, 100,000 for 12 cycles. And when I go buy gear, I'm not auction. I just go sell and I sell a let me say go to the pit for me. The fuel issue they are about. I don't feel pain, normal. The markets they come. Now the fuel hard to forget. So then the markets they come. So man they say fuel no day. Et on monte quand on est placé de comment Waterloo, comment Estin. What they can and they get. I want to not get to 7 they get. So we stay there with the government and put control. Don't for we say they get out with
Fish business one, Stanga. We buy fish there, rice now, we buy 900,000. Snapper, we buy 400,000 for those. Now we reception the catalog to us. So no more to go for Kambaya. Fish there. Although they sell soda, too much sell. So they sell them 5,000. But they will not sell them. Now they buy with 15,000 for 1 dozen mango. Color pack of rice. Now for rice. 15,000 now for those. But if they dry the fish, they pay for it. Those are just 5 minutes away and they dry. I'm not selling dry. Petrol on there, they say the fishermen they say petrol on there, they charge for snapper, they charge 600,000 for dollars. So they say they buy petrol there. And they buy petrol 15,000 for gallon. So the fish is going to be buy 200, 250, 300, right? So they buy 400 for those dollars. So they say that's why they buy, that's why they sell. So we really they straight, go out for do, not go out for do, fast to manage. The government help we because the petrol can run. So we will sell, we'll sell the rest month, then the first month they cancel. So government, we go help with the petrol, we all think kind of small, not so one say, but small.
His Excellency President Julius Maada Bio has engaged key stakeholders in the business sector and other private sector players and assured them of an inclusive business policy that will see growth in their different sectors. Judge Edward Sam has more and in our reports.
Minister of Trade Dr. Edward Ingasande welcomed participants and said they had convened a roundtable discussion between the President and all players in the country's business community who were contributing immensely to the economic growth.
As we almost get out of the COVID-19, we all had to begin cool, then something else happened. The war in Ukraine can cause beyond trouble. Not only that, the war in Ukraine make it difficult for me to buy things and will come another impact than in the world. The kind way them will be not used for they do business all don't change. Because the war affect beaucoup other markets than Europe, even in Asia. And today we see even the petroleum products they use for move around instead of get small problem for get the volumes they won't need. So now with all this, His Excellency say, make we come and talk to us.
According to the Executive Chairman, Petroleum Regulatory Agency Brahma Balawa M. Kuruma said this is a big opportunity for all players in the petroleum sector to share ideas and challenges together and acknowledge the many support that the government has given to them. He further stated that it is also for the government to clearly understand their collective difficulties.
Particularly the Russian and the Ukraine war, it don't exacerbate the problem. The fear don't increase. It's more than double. So this is an impact on the transportation, the impact of the movement of goods and services. It will also increase food and other commodities. So, but the kind of president will get a fight for open up. One can listen to the business community, to the consumer. Then today you see the transporters, the keke, the okada, they all come together and accept that indeed what will happen is completely outside the hands of any government, outside the hands of every country. But what we will do as a government, that for all come together, let we talk, because we will strength, now we will come together for take decisions. So what will happen is, for all find creative ways, we will mitigate the impact of this shock across the globe. And what we believe, crisis is normally not sustainable. Crisis is not going to take long. What did happen in the world? If the price can't come back, this government here will make sure we put that down. But let we the consumers, no patient with the government, also the dealers, let them let for hide petroleum product every day, now for buy them. The government try as much as possible for let create the environment with the support the oil market economy through the raising forex, what are one of the challenges we get. So today, this start like having an inclusive engagement with the business community and the consumers, which is very good, and we should be very grateful to President Julius Maada Bio. I'm pretty sure tomorrow on Monday the message will be different than the country.
Speaking on behalf of participants, Secretary General of the Sierra Leone Importers Association and the CEO of the Razak Holding and Procurement Center Sierra Leone Limited, Rashid Abraham Conte, said as a group they were the largest taxpayers in the country, contributing a significant proportion to government revenue.
The rollout of the single window system has hugely complemented trade reforms and the clearing process at the ports with record time compared to other countries in the region. We are grateful for the local content policy at work and likes of integrated business services and transport and port management system run by Sierra Leoneans. I want to specifically thank the Minister of Trade for that as well. The launch of the free trade zone with first-class infrastructure and support service will help boost local production across the agricultural value chain.
Christopher Foster, President, Sierra Leone Chamber of Commerce, Industry and Agriculture, specifically thanked the President for his policy direction in short areas as the reduction of duty on essential commodities like rice, flour, cement, iron rods, lifting of the burden of importers and helping to cushion household disposable incomes.
I would also like to congratulate you, Your Excellency, and the government on a number of reforms the government has taken to continue to improve the business climate in Sierra Leone. We particularly note some of the actions your government has made over the years in the form of reduction on taxes on commodities, policy reforms and industrial special economic zones, doing business reforms, support to SME agri-processing via the World Bank project, to name but a few. We also acknowledge the government's commitment to further boost the agricultural sector and continue to attract foreign direct investment.
While addressing the high-level stakeholders meeting, the President thanked business community for their support to the economy, saying that no country could develop without their citizens paying taxes. It therefore urged citizens to comply with the National Revenue Authority in tax mobilization for sustainable economic growth.
The inflation, the high prices that we don't occur all right around the world. But now we own Nassau, now we care for. If we get for able regulate them, I think we get for make sure say we engage winner. As I say, when they make a lot of recommendations, when they suggest certain things the way government they do, what government need for do, for reduce the burden on una, but we also want for make sure say we will do that. We ourselves will translate that into reducing the burden on the ordinary people. The truth is, these are extraordinary times. We have no business with the war between the two countries, but we have business with it because we suffer now. We have no say. And let we talk, say, may they stop for fair, they need to listen to itself. But we people, they suffer. You know, and why we need forget this dialogue? Because in this community, we can able, frankly, discuss the issues and some of the things they want to raise, and things in way government normally not go think about it.
The meeting brought together the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Trade, the Bank Governor, the Commissioner General of the National Revenue Authority, Ministry of Labour and Social Security, Ministry of Information and Communication, players in the petroleum sector, representative of the Sierra Leone Chamber of Commerce, motor drivers and General Transport Workers Union, Manufacturers Association, Exporters and Importers, Bike Riders Association, Drivers Union, Tricycle Riders Association, and the Civil Society Organization. For Star TV News, George Elliott Sam reporting.
The Ministry of Water Resources and Sierra Leone Water Company, SALWACO, has launched the 6 towns water supply project in Moyamba and signed the contract. Now, this project will be implemented in Moyamba, Kabala, Kailaon, Maboka, Kambia, and Pujon, respectively. Here's Maya Samai with more.
Welcoming participants at the launching, the Paramount Chief, PC Momoglama, expresses happiness for the project. He said since the coming of President Julius Maada Bio, the district continued to witness development, which the district has been without pipe-borne water for the last 40 years. So this is a dream come true.
Mr. Minister, we in Amende, we talk and say, go lawa moya baba. Go lawa moya baba. Having not open for Moyamba district and the country as a whole. I want to say, and especially the minister them, for let tell President Bio for say we glad for them because they bring so many development there for Moyamba district. The chairman began for name, but we go end up. We just don't launch the NASIT project with one of its kind of the country. We also get the Moyamba district electrification project where they go on right now. And we also get from where this government come, when I let we know from where President Bio and government come, that's also development in kind of Moyamba district.
Giving an overview of the project, the managing director of SALWACO, Engineer Vande, noted that the project will target 100% customers and before the completion, connection of pipe networks will have been done. He also called on the council, local authorities, including the people, to protect the facility.
The 6 water supply projects, they cover 6 towns where they don't say about, we just go over briefly. We get Kabala, like Konadugu district, we get Kailaon, we get Kambia, we get Magoroka, we get Moyamba, and we get Pujon. But as we all know, the governance administration is governed by laws, particularly the procurement law. So before we go spend government money, we got to go through the procurement process. And we all know that procurement by itself is a vulnerable process. So we start all the procurement activity at the same time for all these 10 lots, sometime early last year. But unfortunately, or incidentally, let me put it that way, Now, only 3 of the losses will be successful at the first stage.
The chairman Parliamentary Oversight Committee on Water, Honorable Lahai Mara, said one key responsibility of Parliament is oversight, which as committee they will continue to hold government to account and that they will continue to provide oversight. He also noted that they are satisfied with the 6 tanks water supply project, but what is disturbing the project is the delays in funding and call on the Ministry of Finance to fast-track payments so as to complete the project.
And we can use project documents. For more we actually know say, there's waiting in the document, I don't believe at all. Just like the colleague Honorable Fetubula been saying, and make I tell them say, we get what we call for option. We go for option into the Water Resources Committee to make sure say we get the required power as a parliamentarian for providing necessary oversight in this particular moment. As a committee, Mr. Chairman, I also represent the leader of government business. We did on the way from Kenya and origin. As a leader, I get a lot of responsibility still attend to. As a committee, so far, we don't do we work. Recently, we called Salwako for me they can give updates, for me they can give some explanation about certain projects. Here among those projects.
Giving the keynote address and the launching of the project, the Minister of Water Resources, Engineer Patrick Lansana, said there has been several calls for Moyamba district to have safe, clean and affordable pipe-borne water, which an investigation was launched into water access in Moyamba and the 5 other districts and development, a proposal that was presented to the Ministry of Finance. He also noted that the water will not be free and that with this Salwako will be able to strive and do maintenance without recourse to government.
And then townland. But it is so small, so meager, so ineffective, so irregular, so unreliable that one day we can buy all about the commander, the podium for talk, the talks in the say the president called me and asked me, you don't tell me say small, I told him first I called the chairman and said, I can't me help. Then I go and clarify things to the president. The president can really believe say yes indeed. Small water day, but because of the status of the water, all my face was not there at all. In fact, I didn't know we get for experience because of the situation, we don't agree say we transfer this facility to Salwako. And you know, at this point I will say thanks to the stakeholders of this district, especially the ministers, they will get the district at heart. Self-supporting, they will pay for water. Because as we speak, they ask for money from government and only small they come in. The government, the last time they asked 30 billion, they only receive 5 billion. But we know that they get money from the sale of water, they don't money for part of government.
Admire Samai reporting for Star TV News.
And in case you've just joined us, you're watching the local news bulletin here on Star TV. Now, the Minister of Labour and Social Security, Lawyer Alpha Usman Timbo, has described the kickstart of the 20th anniversary of NASIT as one of the key governance achievements that has improved the socio-economic livelihood of citizens in the country. He made this statement at a well-attended gathering at the Radisson Blu Hotel in Freetown, marking the 20th anniversary of NASIT on the theme A Visible NASIT. Hassan Kuruma has more.
Speaking during the official launching of the 20th anniversary celebration on the theme Improving Efficiency through Digitalization for National Development, the Director General of National Social Security and Insurance Trust, Muhammad Fadabo, said that before now the country used to have a pension agreement that mainly covers the public sector, which he noted was largely not contributing and had challenges. The Director General also emphasized that National Social Security and Insurance Trust strongly believes in the core values of respect, accountability, transparency, and excellence since its inception in 2001. He also added that Sierra Leoneans who have served diligently were receiving ridiculous pensions upon retirement, which he said had implications on the job market. The DG of NASIT also reminisced that NASIT was launched by His Excellency the late President Dr. Ahmed Tijan Kaba at the Lagunda Entertainment Complex on Aberdeen in Freetown as a hope of every worker in the country after signing into law the National Social Security and Insurance Trust Act of 2001.
You that are old enough will agree with me that before 2001, Sierra used to have a pension arrangement that mainly covers the public sector. This was largely non-contribution and had its own challenges in terms of its administration. Sierra Leoneans who have diligently served this nation were receiving ridiculous pensions upon retirement, where they never received a payment. Sometimes came after the death of the retirees. This had implications on the job market, whereby people were reluctant to leave job even when they attained the national retirement age for fear of losing their livelihood at retirement. This was the state of play, and against this backdrop, that the government of late President Dr. Ahmed Kaba of Blessed Memory decided along with Alpha O. Timbo, my current Minister of Labour, and the team to establish NASIT to address the long-range problem of economic security for the age through a contributory system whereby workers themselves can contribute to their own future retirement benefits by making regular payments into a fund during their active years.
While launching the NASIT 20th anniversary celebration, the Minister of Labour and Social Security, Alpha Usman Timbo, commended the current and past leadership of the National Social Security and Insurance Trust for their unending effort in upholding the values of the institution since its inception. The minister also recognized and applauded all Sierra Leoneans who actively participated in the establishment of NASIT that has attained 20 years of existence.
Existing and it continues to exist. So NASIT therefore represents as its achievements over the years. We are also gathered here to commemorate also the battles that have been fought by a team of dedicated Sierra Leoneans and the gains that have been made over the years. Today, we must remember the 1st of January 2002. As a day that the first man who believed in the dreams of the proponent of this team started contributing towards a decent post-employment release standard. That's what I said. A day that this institution has exhibited a resilience and evidence of trust, excellence and accountability and respect for mankind. This is also a day that will inspire the working men and women of this country to have faith in our hard-won battle against poverty and leave an everlasting print in our minds that there is dignity in labor. With this singular achievement, our insecurity and fear have been transformed into hope, that our poverty and hunger have been transformed into decent life after retirement, that our economic degradation is transformed into a chance to live out the remaining days in dignity and peace we have richly earned. Through NASIT, the country has been able to achieve the minimum requirements outlined in the ILO Convention 102, which include benefits covered for the contingencies of old age, invalidity, and death. We have been able to expand coverage, demonstrate our physical presence by constructing offices in all regions in the country, thereby bringing the scheme closer to the people and improve the processing and timely payment of benefits for its members.
The all-important event was climaxed by the official launching of the 20th anniversary celebration of NASIT by the Minister of Labour and Social Security, Alpha Usman Timbo. For Star News in Freetown, compiled by Abdurrahman Kamara, read in our studios by Hassan Koroma.
Africell Mobile Company, as in Friday, April 1st, launches the Ramadan show dubbed the Golden Door. Let's have a look.
Chief Kubro don't already hint that in line with the cloud tradition, as a company,
always been at the cutting edge of whether that's technology, innovation at the industry, and also innovative promotional events where they provide the subscribers with opportunities to celebrate religious festivals, play fun games, win great prizes in the process. We're proud as a company to announce the launch of the official AfriMoney Ramadan Show 2022, where we call Ramadan the Golden Door TV show. The Golden Door. We show for 2022, now Ramadan the Golden Door show. That's what we're going to be hosting. Now, this will give subscribers the opportunity for winning over 500 million leons right to the period of this promotion. Over 500 million leons. The promotion will start on the 4th of April. It will run from the 4th to the 30th April. 4th April to the 30th April 2022. That is when the promotion will go forward for other courses.
You will get 650 leons on net that you use before 12 midnight. And also you can use your AfriMoney to do any AfriMoney transaction to increase your chances. There are 2 stages to the promotion. We have stage 1 and stage 2. Can I change? Stage 1 and stage 2. As usual, it's a transparent draw. We'll have journalists present and we'll get journalists to monitor the process till the end of the show. It's Mondays to Fridays for the show, and the time is 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. live on AYV TV. Link up with Africell Facebook page, AfriRadio, and all the major radio stations in the country. And we will run from Ekunalosi, as another from Mr. Abbas, is up to 500 million. But we have a star prize on a daily basis, which is 50 million, where somebody will be lucky for a win. That if you're lucky, win and how. When you're lucky, if you subscribe and your number is part of the raffle draw, as usual, it's an electronic draw, we do raffle draw. If you're lucky and your number comes out, we call you with 777. We are always keen about the number we used to call our subscriber, because we know people like to play games with our subscriber out there. That's why we have a specific line for our promotions and whenever we have raffle draw. So if you are called with any other number, just know it's fake. If you're a winner, we only called you with 077-777-777. When you're called upon, you pick up your call. The first stage, you're asked to choose a number between 1 to 15. And if you're lucky, you choose a number that takes you to the Golden Door. Remember, the show is AfriCell Ramadan, the Golden Door show. If you're lucky, a number takes you to the Golden Door, and again, we'll ask you to choose from a number between 1 to 30. And let's say you're lucky again, you choose among those numbers and you choose the lucky door, which have a 50 million.
And these are all the stories we have for you today in our National News Bulletin file. Thank you so very much for watching. I am Leonela Jawara. Stay with us if you can.